Nike Mercurial or Phantom GT? Well, choosing between them can be a bit hard because they might seem a bit similar in some areas. So today, I'll compare the two, let them go head to head to hopefully help you guys decide which is the right model for you. So the biggest difference between the Phantom GT and the Mercurial is probably the way they fit and feel on your feet. Now, before we get into that, common for both of the boots is that they come in a high and a low cut variation. And basically, they're the same boots, but one has a sock and the other one doesn't. That's it, really. Now, the Phantom GT here is the wide-footed player's dream because it is really, really wide, especially in the midfoot. And also, it runs, I would say, a quarter of a size long, meaning that if you want that really tight, snug fit, you can consider going down half a size if the length of your foot allows it, at least. Now, the Mercurial here, on the other hand, gives you a more snug and one-to-one and streamlined sensation, but I feel that there's still room enough inside to accommodate for, I would say, most foot types. And that's a bit of a funny thing because 5 years ago, it definitely didn't. And also, it's my experience that these run true to size, so go with your normal size and be happy. So, wide-footed player's dream, and these will go with, I think, more or less everyone else. And another thing that really affects the fit is, of course, the upper, where the Phantom GT has this fly-knit upper and the Mercurial has this synthetic componentized so-called vapor posit upper. And you'd think that it is softer than synthetic. Nope. But it's not. At least, I mean, this will soften up really well with time as you break it in, but out of the box, the Mercurial is definitely softer, more pliable, and I would say moldable around your foot. And because the fly-knit upper here is just knit, there isn't really much structure to it, so it definitely has a more free sensation, especially because there's so much space inside of it, whereas the Mercurial definitely gives you more support and structure and especially a lot better lockdown. And in general, the GT is just more cozy and chill. I mean, even the dynamic fit collar has a bigger opening to it, so there's just more space in and around it. And I think the best way to describe the boot would be to say that if you really like the Vapor 13, this feels like a slightly wider, more textured version of that. However, I personally prefer the more snug fit in the Mercurial, and while both of full boots are pretty comfortable and sit around that 205, 210, 15 gram mark, I'd probably go for the Mercurials if I were you, unless you have a ginormously wide foot or just like a chill fit. Because these will give you that. Performance, chillaxation. Right, so when we look at the touch on the ball, the boots do feel pretty similar. They're thin, they're sharp, they're pingy on the ball, and the big difference is the texture. So the Phantom GT has a bit more of a gritty texture where you definitely feel that difference in the contact on the ball. Whereas on the Mercurial, it's a bit more of a matte sensation where you do have grip, so it's not completely smooth and slippery, but it's not as evident. I would probably call this grip that you actively feel, whereas this is a bit more passive in the sense that it sits in the background, giving you confidence that you have enough grip without screaming in your face. And okay, there's a bit of a larger striking surface here, but by and large, they feel pretty similar apart from the grip. And the same story goes for the outsole, because both boots feel relatively similar, really fast and responsive because of these here chevron-bladed studs that they have. Still, the Mercurials are faster, feel more aggressive, especially because of the stiffer plate here. The GT2s aren't that far behind, even though they look really different. So, when it comes to speed, I'd say that both are really good. Another thing I need to mention is the AG Pro outsoles that we have. So the GT2s have the AG Pro that is slightly older than the newer AG outsole that we see on the Mercurials. And I would say that if you play exclusively on artificial grass pitches, this on the Mercurial is the best. But if you play on both AG and FG pitches and need the best hybrid boot, you can take the AG Pro that is safe to use on AG but still has a bit more grip for when you play on the grass pitches. So the choice is yours. So that's a lot of information, Jay. How on God's green earth do you decide if your choice is between these two boots? Well, let's try and sum it up a bit. So the Phantom GT is wider, has more grip, a slightly stiffer upper out of the box, but a nice big clean striking surface, whereas the Mercurial, on the other hand, gives you a tighter fit, a softer upper out of the box, better lockdown, and a more aggressive outsole. The prices are the same, so the choice is yours, really. Now me, I'm Team Mercurial, simply because they fit me better, and also while I appreciate what the Phantom GT wants to do with combining a Mercurial with a Phantom Vision, it just leaves it kind of stuck in limbo somewhere, so I'm over here. But guys, which boot would you choose? Let me know in the comment section right down below. And then remember, you can go and buy all of the new Nike Recharge Pack boots and any other new football boot you might want via the link to unisportlife.com right over there. But not, of course, before you make sure to subscribe to the channel with the notifications on. And then if you want to improve as a footballer, there's the playlist right down there. With those words, guys, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.